many months ago, I started watching winglet videos, and that's what got me into TF2. And lo and behold, I missed one. That's right, this is Taunt Fortress 2 from the winglet. Let's get into it.
Let's go! Let's go! Yeah!
Okay, I've discussed this in previous videos, but man, it bothers me more and more. This is not a position you can snipe from, especially if you have this rifle. It has a bipod. Get prone or get into an elevated position, use your bipod, and rest the rifle on a stable shooting surface. Then again, you could hit a target 50 meters away from this sort of comically unstable thing. The other thing that he's doing wrong, though, in his stance is that his elbows are flared, right? And if you want a stable shooting position, you want to have your elbows tucked into your body. It's the more sort of space, the more you're relying on your musculature, your muscles to hold up the rifle and keep it stable, the harder that's going to be. The more you can rely on your skeleton to hold the weight of this weapon, the better off you're going to be. There is no like good way to shoot from standing. And if you're talking about things like mount or urban operations, right? Yeah, you can flare your elbows because you're usually using a lighter weight carbine and the weapon is only held up very briefly and your targets are very close. But yeah, this is just like comically bad on a number of levels.
Hoo-wah!
However, that's a good example of the complacency that real snipers hope for, right? If that is the goal is to get someone who is complacent, an enemy who doesn't believe that they have a threat nearby. That's why good sniper teams often work away from main maneuver elements, is because they want the enemy to not realize necessarily that they're there. That's one of the biggest fears in Iraq and Afghanistan, was of these snipers who could wait or deploy undetected and would catch you when you thought the area was secure.
That helmet's gonna make a nice bowl for your brains!
Ew, gross, dude. Also, very, very not a good idea to eat human brains. The proteins can start to build up in your brain and cause a neurological disease. Okay, this is gross. I can't even
Each and every one of you will be sent home to your mama in a box!
This is just sad. That's actually sad. Like, he says it in funny soldier way, but that's actually a really depressing thing to think about as a soldier.
Hi, Ma!
Killing you is full-time job now.
I mean, I appreciate the thought that that might be a full-time job, but there's more efficient ways to kill people. And you have to remember, if you're part of a bureaucracy, things are going to be a bunch of nonsense. So you can imagine that probably he would spend like 2 hours a day killing pyros. The remaining 6 would be doing things like filling out paperwork, reporting how many pyros he had killed, signing over the bodies to body disposal division, and probably dealing with things like his payroll issues and their, getting safety gear replaced, because obviously if you're going to be killing combatants, it's pretty dangerous.
I think I'll take Sasha out for a steak dinner tonight. What do you think about that?
Okay, I just want to point out, these steaks don't look like they're cooked at all. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're seeing, I mean, definitely a decent cut of steak, but again, there's a real lack of grill marks, right? There's no evidence that this has been cut whatsoever. And you can eat raw steak. Some cultures have raw meat. There's a Middle Eastern dish. I think it starts with a K. Its name escapes me, but it's just spiced raw ground meat. And I have never seen it in the US. I think it's probably not legal to serve, but I've seen it in Brazil and, of course, in the Middle East. And boy, howdy, I respect other cultures. I am open to eating almost any food. There is no way that is safe. And so I don't do it. I just get the grilled stuff. But it is possible, right? Obviously, most people who eat this raw steak dish, don't die from it. So you can. It's just bad. It's just a bad idea. You could also have steak tartare. That's another example of an uncooked steak, but it is cooked in the acid usually of the tartare. And so that's not quite the same thing. You're still engaging in a process to remove the dangerous bacteria from the surface. But in this case, the steak is so meat is a great environment for bacteria to grow because you have to think it's life, it's living tissue, or it was, and it has all the resources that living tissue needs to thrive. So if bacteria can get on it, they will find that it is a really welcoming environment. We can make it a less welcoming environment by keeping it, for example, chilled or cold. But often bacteria can survive in the cold, or once you thaw, you have to thaw something out, thaw the steak out, and bacteria have a chance to colonize it again. And once they colonize it, it's very easy to spread, and you end up with these sort of, salmonella or other poisonous bacteria on the steak. So that's why you want to cook it. That's the best way to remove bacteria. Wash it thoroughly sometimes. Again, the cooking process is really what does it.
Scotland is not a real country. You are an Englishman with a dress.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
Oh, man. I appreciate that they didn't just give Demo Man a dress, but it's actually Femo Man. Demo Man.
They're going to bury what's left of you in a soup can!
Shout out to Spy holding the umbrella for Scout's mom. This is a nice touch. Shout out to Winglet for putting that in there. Ouch. Also dark.
I've seen better sides of beef been run over by a combine.
Okay, just want to shout out. This is a combine, which of course is designed to harvest corn. And this is the combine from Half-Life 2. So shout out to Winglet for getting it. Also, if you're running over an entire cow with your combine, that's the fault of the combine driver, right? Cows get out sometimes. They're not geniuses, but usually you want to just stop. And it definitely won't produce beef that clean.
Don't feel bad. You did a fine job tossing your little balls around.
Oh, Jesus. This is not what I needed. Ugh. Oh, God.
I am going to claw my way down your throat and tear out your very soul.
It's like some Shang Mortal Kombat stuff right here.
In your language, eat lead, laddies.
Okay, so they stopped making pencils out of lead a long time ago. Now it's primarily graphite. But I believe they still do make the actual bullets, mini bullets out of lead. Sometimes even that is sort of going away. Sometimes it's bimetal jackets and tungsten carbide. There's other options, but lead is still a very common material for the core of a bullet.
I murdered your toys as well.
What
And going Andy from Toy Story on a duck. That's just cruel, man. What do you have against toys?
sick man sends babies to fight me?
Give 'em hell, boys! Attack!
Here's a schematic for you. My ass!
Okay, wait, all right, let's see. E equals question mark. Okay, so E can mean, variables can mean anything. He's got his width but it's not clear on what is the metric. Like, his arms are outstretched. Does he mean the full wingspan? It looks like he's trying to say shoulder length. But obviously height, which is more recognized. But then he zooms in on his ass, which it's not clear on anything. It's just an angle. There's a lot missing in this schematic. This is a terrible schematic. You couldn't, for example, use it to understand Scout at all. Certainly not construct another Scout.
Alrighty then. Erecting a nest.
All your heads look bloody 12 feet tall.
What the hell did you just freaking say about me, you little bitch?
Wow, that is a really frighteningly realistic Uncanny Valley Scout face. I really am creeped out.
Would you like a second opinion?
Traded for haunted second opinion.
You are all so ugly!
Yeah, it's a freaking
That's a good one.
bat magnet.
The Batman, yeah. Gotta love it.
Christmas, I am going to pull a rabbit out of your ass.
I hate you so much, soldier!
Son, I'm gonna blow that dumb look right off your stupid face.
That is a dumb look, no doubt about it. Dude, remember Mario Party, or even Mario 64, where you could manipulate the face? That was the mini game. The faces would be all distorted in 3D, and you'd have to use the little like mouse pointer to grab them and stretch them out into shape. That was great, man. They need to bring that back.
Ha ha! What a bloodbath!
Gross.
Get a haircut, trash cans.
Okay, here's the thing. Blood, when exposed to air, like, coagulates pretty quickly. It's designed to. So the reason blood tends to dry and coagulate is because it needs to, right? It's sort of like functioning as its own bandage. So think about what happens when you get cut, all right? The blood is going to come out, and because it's under pressure, it's a pressure system, it's going to push bacteria and foreign objects out right away, because the blood only flows out, right? Your blood isn't flowing back into you. So that positive pressure is helping keep foreign objects and bacteria out. Then, when it's exposed to oxygen, the blood dries and forms a solid mass that protects the actual wound itself, right? And these are features that, you know, enable human beings to survive small wounds and have a lower risk of things like infections. But the trade-off is that, of course, when blood starts to clot or coagulate inside the body, it becomes a really dangerous situation. Stroke, heart attacks, mostly those two. Deep vein thrombosis, right? It's only bad news when that sort of aspect of blood, its ability to clot and solidify, starts to occur inside people's bodies. All right,
Your precious sandwich won't save you now, fatty.
Help me! Help!
Oh, Jesus. This is dark. This is so dark. I love it. This is the best one yet. Okay, so he's riding on an ICBM. Okay, so I'm gonna just point something out. This does look like an ICBM or maybe a rocket, like a space rocket. But it's so these rockets are generally designed to have an upward flight trajectory directly away from Earth, right? Because it's horizontally, it doesn't have a wing, so it can't generate lift and travel horizontally across in the air. So it's got to be going straight up for starters. Second, normally what happens is it deploys these rockets need to get up to escape velocity. So relatively early in their flight, the first stage of the rocket is going to discharge, pop off, and then it'll start to expend the fuel in the second stage. It actually sort of draws all three fuels simultaneously to ensure the weight stays balanced. But the point is that by this point, you would probably see the first stage of this ICBM come away. Nice. That was good. All right, guys. Was that weird? Yes. Did I learn something? Not really. I hope you guys did, though. Because boy howdy, was that an event. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks to the patrons of Patreon. They get access to exclusive content, and you should become a member. Thanks to our Lieutenant tier patrons, Cole Foster, Command Unit, Caffeinated, Jakob Flavius, Chris, Dr. Shadowcop, Porter World Time, Brandon Armitage, Tel Ruin, and Astro Hunter. Those guys, their support means the world to me. And if you want to come hang out, check out twitch.tv/combatvetpaul. You can find me there streaming Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, including Team Fortress Tuesday, baby. Can't beat it. All right, guys, that's all I got. I'll see you in the next one.